Perfect. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We were supposed to do it 2 days back. We had to reschedule it. So I have a group of students from Shiraf College of Commerce, first year students of the GBO MBA batch. We've got Devesh, Humanshi, Aman, Rohan, Abhishek. Is Manish also part of your team?
No, sir.
Okay, I thought his video was on that side. Okay. They'll be presenting on. Manish, you can keep your video on. That's okay. I just got confused. They will be presenting on data analysis, data cleaning specifically using Python. This is a problem that we had solved for a client a few months back, wherein there were a lot of financial statements that the client was getting, and they wanted to extract or retrieve certain specific information from those financial statements that the bank was sharing with them. Now, the process of automating this can be done on multiple tools. You can try Power Query, you can try to do something in Excel, you can try to do something in Python, or you can try to maybe leverage generative AI for this. These guys have done a mix of Gen AI and Python, and that is what they will be taking you through in the next 30 to 45 minutes. So I'll hand it over to you guys. You can present your screen and start with the session. Thank you.
Aman, please share the screen, and Abhishek, you may start.
Yeah, just a moment. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Just a second.
I think Abhishek has some issue. He got dropped off again. Please check with him if he'll be able to present.
Sir,
Yes,
is my
sir.
screen visible?
So,
No, we can't see his screen.
But let's
So good evening, everyone. We'll be presenting our live project, what we have done in our live project, which include Devesh, Abhishek, Rohan, Aman, and Humanshi. We'll be presenting our live project in
Abhishek,
which
just
we
to
have.
stop you
Yes,
for a
sir.
second, I'm sorry. Devesh, I think Aman got dropped off. So can you, any one of you, share the screen?
sure,
Yeah,
sir, I'll do
Abhishek,
it.
please continue.
Uh, Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, visible.
Abhishek, you may continue.
Am I audible? My network had some issues.
Guys?
hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So guys, we are a group of five: Abhishek, Aman, Devesh, Humanshi, Rohan, and we have through Talas sir and Habisham Consulting, we were given a project on data cleaning, and we were supposed to use Python environment to process, clean, analyze, and give insights on the data. And our data collates with the banking sector. Devesh, can you go? And I will like to read you a code. Uh, the language that reads like English but runs like lightning, and that is exactly Python is. The world is making a transition right now. Not only we are excelling in Excel, Microsoft Excel as a popular tool, but now in combination with Python, we are moving towards automation, and now the productivity is key. Now, Python is a very versatile tool, we all know, and it has been in existence for a long time. But now its general purpose is evolving. Moreover, Python as a high-level programming language is now being coupled with readability, ease of learning. And now, in today's AI-driven time, everyone is a coder. He's just a click away. For example, if a child who is in sixth standard, he may not be knowing anything about Python, but if he texts or chats with the AI bot, he can easily process simple yet effective Python codes. And Python has evolved as a backend language to a front-running automated language. Yes, Devesh, now back to you.
Aman, could you please share the screen? It would be easier for me to present my part.
Yes, let me. Is my screen visible?
No.
No, as of now, it's not.
I don't know why it becomes like totally black.
I trying to present Google Colab.
Yeah, no, sir.
Now
Now
the
it's
screen
present.
is
Now, yeah,
visible.
now we can see. Now we can
Yes.
see. Now we can see.
Devesh,
Bashir, yes, yes, idhar.
Aman, can you just recheck your screen once?
yes, sir.
Yeah. ठीक है. Okay.
Devesh, please take over.
Aman, could you please pause? Could you please go back once?
Yeah.
Pause here. Pause here.
No, there is no pause allowed there. It is actually.
Oh, could you please present it once again?
Bashir, yes, yes, idhar. Idhar.
So guys, this was a very small humor which we wanted to add over here, and which we wanted to say that once you are through and thorough with such kind of data analytics skills, you would be equipped and you would have the confidence to demand the amount of fees you would like to charge from your clients. This freedom and this confidence is certainly provided you from such tools such as Power BI and Python. Because in this world, Excel almost everyone knows, but how can one even Excel, using Excel? I think over here Python and other tools would be very helpful. Aman, could you please take the next slide? Now, in these use cases, you talk about automated data cleaning and banking. In our project, we were just mostly focused on how could we clean this data and get actionable insights from them. That was our only simple target. We were given certain set of data, which was very much not in proper order. The rows and columns did not matched. A lot of entries were not present properly. So our job was just to make those entries properly visible for the bank for its records. Now over here, as you can see in the first point, automated data cleaning and banking. Now what over here is that Python libraries such as Panda and NumPy enable quick removal or duplicate entries, handling missing data, and standardizing inconsistent formats. Now in this example, I would like to share is that HDFC Bank uses Python to clean and standardize data from its customers' onboarding and transaction systems. For example, when a customer opens account or performs transaction, data entries have to be inconsistent. Data entries might have inconsistent formats. Now, inconsistent formats means date format will be different. In India, we have day, month, and year, but in some other countries, the format might be different. There might be spelling variations. So we use Python scripts such as Panda and NumPy, which can automate the standardization of dates, removal of duplicate entries, and filling of missing values. Now, the second point over here is about data validation for finance. In this, you can clearly read that Python, you can run validation checks on financial data to ensure compliance with predefined rules. And over here, we have an example of SBI. SBI uses Python to validate daily data transactions for its compliance checks. And over here, in the next point, we have real-time data updates for sales and marketing. And also, we have for data merging and formatting in healthcare systems. Now, for consolidating data from multiple sources in healthcare, we have Access Bank with its healthcare financial services uses Python to compile and standardize data from hospitals and clinics. When processing loan applications for healthcare providers, the bank receives patent and financial data from multiple healthcare partners. Now, using Python, you can consolidate these diverse data sets that can align formats, remove redundancies, and maintain a single and clean source of data. Now, with this clean source of data, the bank could be much more take informed decisions on its next course of actions. We are able to save this time of data into other things for the bank, which would be very helpful for its ongoing operations. Thank you.
Now, Rohan, please explain the challenges.
Okay, so in this slide, I'm going to discuss the challenges that was faced by the banking sector to manage the data. So here are certain 4 problems along with their impacts. So I discussed one by one problem. So the problem one is that uh, the banking sectors are dealing with a huge chunk of data set of transactions that was made by a particular customer. This data can be structured or unstructured, as we all know that, and the impact may be uh, what was without advanced data processing, it can be difficult for the banking sector to extract the meaningful conclusion of the uh, or make a decision on a particular data set, because due to the unstructured data, we cannot make a decision thoroughly. And the second problem here is the data silos across department, which means that the particular data cannot be viewed by other segments within the banking sectors, which ultimately affect the unified view of the customer journey and ultimately hampers the user experience. And coming on to the third problem, data quality and integrity issues. Many of the time that the entry in the huge data set can be duplicate, as we all know that if we enter a huge data set, it may be or may not be uh, maybe a duplicate entries, and sometimes maybe a missing entries to create an integrity issues, which make an impact on a decision making and user experience. Now coming to on a fourth problem, so there is a legacy system in integrity challenge, which is a fundamental problem within the banking sectors. In this, many banks are relying on some of the outdated system or procedures to maintain the data entries, which ultimately slow down the process of the banking sectors. Now coming to on a second slide, please, Divesh. So here is the solution. So what can be the solution to clean this huge chunk of data sets? Maybe a Python. And there are some certain tools that we are using in Python. First of all, Panda and NumPy, and the second set is Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotly. So Panda and NumPy, this tool is used for making data cleaning, which enhance the data quality and consolidate the view of all transactions that was made by the consumers. So basically, it is used for the data cleaning. And the second part is Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotly. So basically, the use of these tools is to visualize either by the different type of graphs such as box plot, scatter charts, histogram, which ultimately enhance the visualized insights of the customer journey. Thank you.
Okay, but fundamentally, where to code and how to choose the best environment? Well, there are many to choose from. Let me count the popular ones. We have PyCharm, we have Google Colab, and we have Anaconda. But for our project, we decided to go with the Anaconda environment. Let me tell you why. And Anaconda supports comprehensive package suites. So when you have multiple workflows together, as also banking sector has a lot of data to process, and that data comes in various formats. Anaconda is more suitable because you have multiple environments at hand and you can switch at ease. Moreover, it is an offline access. Offline access means your data is safe and you can play with your data in a secured format. And most importantly, it is very simple and very easy to learn. In fact, it is the most user-friendly interface that can be offered for the Python environment.
Okay, so now we'll be talking about how we can effectively, use data. You can use ChatGPT AI, so for financial data cleaning and transformation, because this also involves human plus AI, which plays a very crucial part in our project. So here we have used CARE framework, providing clear context, describing the action that we want AI to perform, and clarifying the expected results, and giving examples to guide the output. This is crucial because it helps us in getting well structured input to make sure that we get the desired results. Then the prompt. A good prompt is like a key to unlock accurate and reliable responses from AI. Then we have used data. This is where ChatGPT helps simple transformations and format changes, which helps us, saving in time and which would have taken in doing this manually. Then data cleaning and formatting. ChatGPT's strengths shines in analyzing data for inconsistency or missing entries. Lastly, ChatGPT and tools like Gemini assistant coding, making Python scripts for complex transformations or cleaning processes easier and more efficient. Can we move to the next slide? So here we are discussing the 6 steps that we have followed, the summed up and approach that we have followed, that is planning, execution, tracking, and then evaluation. So the step 1 involved understanding objectives and workflow, where we basically clarified what our actual goal is and covered our Python basics. Step 2 is data set description, wherein we identified what data set we have been provided with and what scope it has. The third step involved data extraction, pulling specific columns and then validating them. Step 4 involved data cleaning, handling missing values, duplicates, and formatting issues. Step 5 involved data validation, ensuring the data is accurate and ready so that our functions could be performed. Lastly, step 6 is documentation of reporting, summarizing insights, methods, and challenges. In all, together, these steps helped us in creating a well-structured approach for handling and transforming our financial data efficiently.
Thank you so much, Himanshi, for detailing out the use of AI. Now, I would explain you the core part of our project. Our project was divided into 6 stages, and those stages are as listed and given. Now, we all have basic understanding of Python, but we efficiently utilized AI and particularly Gemini to generate code. And moreover, I will tell you, Gemini works like a magic. Not only it gives you the code, but it also explains it to you like a child, so that even if you are having slightest confusion in your mind, or you are having doubt that why are we using a particular function, a particular operation, or a particular input, why we are using it, and what is exactly happening in the background, but how does the code read, how does the system work. So let me take you just some of the examples. So this is our project, and see, this every code was generated using AI in this, and I will tell you how. It says import numpy as MP and import pandas as PD. Firstly, let us know what are MP and PD and numpy and pandas. And most of us are basically confused, or I always believe that pandas and numpy are like similar, but there lies a very fundamental difference. Pandas is a very powerful Python library used for data analysis and manipulation, but NumPy is a very powerful library tool for mathematical calculation. So there lies the slight difference that we should know. Now, this code reads data equals to PD equals to read exercise, means that I am giving the input to the in the form of Python code that the data should be read. Now, let me tell you, if you don't know even the basics of like how would I input my data into the Python environment, I'll show you with the example of the Gemini GPT. Let me open it. Now, here I have given the sample prompt here. And see, we have used the framework CARE, context, action, result, and example. As you can see, I will be texting to my GPT that he is supposed to write a Python script, import the necessary libraries, NumPy and pandas, read my Excel file named like this because you have to specify the location. And you have to display the first 5 rows because I will have to validate whether the data I wanted is processed correctly or not. And I have also given it like full information that replace this file location with this path so that I am at ease. I just have to copy paste it from the Gemini and paste it into the environment, and it will really work like a magic. Let me show you how. See, it gives exactly the same code that was processed in the Python code. And similarly, on the similar lines, if we give all these Python prompts to the Gemini with a framework in our mind, and see, I will tell you a slight difference also. If we just merely ask Gemini that I want this to be done in my file, then it will just try to give you a random answer, and it would be correct, but may not be the accurate one because specifically you have not given a particular framework to it. You have not given the examples, the action. You have just asked it, and it will just give any random example. So in order to ensure the accuracy, you will have to give your answer depending on the framework and the type of project you are dealing with. So as you can see, it gave me the very prompt answer in a fraction of a second. And moreover, it explains that's like replace with actual path, Excel file, display the first 5 rows. So it is easy to understand. Not only it is giving me the prompt, the code, it is also explaining me that what is actually happening, making my life and my productivity in very appreciable. Now let me get back to the our project only. So yeah, so our data was we had a sample data of a bank, and it contains 58 columns and 5 rows. But you can see that some of the values are not available, or maybe the Python code is not able to read it. After analyzing the objectives clearly, what we were supposed to do, we deleted the first 2 rows because as you can see, there is nothing in that, and this is unnecessarily creating an error in the Python code. So I created a prompt explaining to the GPT that I want to remove the first 3 rows, and I want it to read my all the necessary columns. So see, this code was given by the Gemini, and I have also given the explanation here so that you can get a grasp of what is actually happening. It is not the code in isolation at play. So this input was converted into this input, and we were having a new code just like skip file path, skip rows 3, and number of rows 63. And now I have this output, right? Now my data is more cleaner, but it is not aligned to my project completely. I was asked to extract columns, specifically account number, value date, account name, customer reference, bank reference, and many more, because we were supposed to work on these columns only. So I gave the prompt using the care framework, repeating again, and the prompt that I gave to the Gemini was this, as it is written. See, write a Python script, import pandas library, do it in this format, print first 63 rows in the data frame, and that's all. So when you explain your code, when you explain what do you want to the GPT in a very clear manner, it will not make mistake, or I will say it will make less mistakes. So this was the output, and I had to just copy and paste it into my environment to get what was exactly needed. And yes, despite we have basic knowledge, but see, I had to write this code word by word, and I could make mistakes, but ChatGPT or basically any of the Gemini app does it much more faster. Now my workload is restricted, or maybe my productivity has increased just to the reading level. Now I have to just read my code and verify that yes, what my GPT has given is really a great code, then it works. So after giving this input, we get the process data as needed, and it looks like this. Now, the basic problem was that our objective also involved that we should not take those columns, or we should identify those columns which have many of the values missing. For example, particularly this remittance information, the remittance information column was having various null values. But how do you do that with the help of a Python code? I again went to the Gemini, tested it in complete format with the given framework, and I have complete code again. And after copy pasting it and running the code, you can see account number, null values, null values, but remittance information has 15 null values. That means that 15 values in that particular column are missing. So, and moreover, since the objective was to clean the data, we decided to remove that particular column and display the rest of the extracted column. So I gave the prompt and got the necessary code, which is this one: delete the selected column remittance information. And this is my output. Okay. Now, moreover, since we had to we needed to just validate the data. Moreover, we need to change the format, because in banking sector, what happens is you use multiple softwares, and those softwares gives you output in various different formats. And moreover, banking sector is a global sector. You have banks working at global level in multiple currencies, in multiple time zones, and in multiple shifts. So you need to just clean it and be more concise. So how do you do that with the help of Python? Again, I will show you the prompt that I entered into the list. Okay. Okay, since we are not following that, I will just explain it like how we did. But this code is being is given by the GPT only, and you can see there is explanation side by side. See how it works like a magic. Now my data, which was earlier was in a very different format, the Python, with the use of Python, I converted into the desired one, as was the objective of my project, and we have the desired output here, right? Now it shows us again the extracted columns, because the particular values are applied to the whole of the data set. Now, now we have, since we have found all the data, now we need to visualize. We have to gain insight that what is actually happening. So in our sample data, there were multiple clients transacting with other clients. But since after cleaning and extracting the necessary columns, we were able to give insights that our particular energy client was transacting more, not only more, but also in great amounts. And we gave the code, let us visualize. And for that, we use matplotlib library to visualize our code and to visualize our data. And this is our output. It gives the transaction amounts in absolute number and the account number. The account number shows that this particular client ID has transacted this much percentage of the whole volume. And this concludes our project, that how we utilize Python, how we merge it with AI, and the combination of two makes our works not only faster, smoother, but more efficient. And now we are just to give good prompts, read more. Just we need to validate that whether the GPT or our particular AI set is giving a great prompts or not, and your workload gets reduced much, and your productivity reaches great heights. Now back to my slide. These are all the 6 steps that we follow: data extraction, cleaning, data cleaning again, because data cleaning had multiple steps to be followed up, data formatting, data visualization. These are the prompts that if you enter into the GPT, you will get the desired output. And the output as discussed. Now, thank you so much. Any questions for us?
Great. That was a good one, guys. Aman, एक बार आप Google Colab पे जाना. Yeah, Anaconda, what we're using, Jupyter Notebook. ठीक है. हाँ, so just go to the top.
Okay.
Right. So they've already run the code, as you can see, and he's explained all individual blocks of code that they've done. And generally, any project that is done where you have to do data cleaning, like they also mentioned the process. You first identify what is the outcome that you want, what are the steps that you will need to employ to clean the data, and hence, they have to also do a lot of trial and error, continuous different approaches to identify, because this is not very structured, right? And like they have done this for one specific bank for the company, there are bank statements coming from different banks as well. So iske liye jo approach employ kiya gaya hai for a different bank, since the structure would change, the complete approach would also change, right? But this is automated in the sense that whatever number of files they upload right now, it is just one sample file that they have. But tomorrow, if I have 100 bank statements also, the same process would work as outlined by Aman and the rest of the team, Devesh, Humanshi, and others, Rohan. Right. So I hope that gives everyone a quick brief on the project that these guys have done. In case anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Else, I think we're good to go for the day. Yes, Manish.
So AI sometimes gives random replies. For example, like if you write something and it sometimes gives wrong code as well. So how did you manage that issue? And one more question: that which one you prefer ChatGPT or Gemini?
I would like to answer that question if that's fine. As you have rightly mentioned, this was one of the key issues which we have gone through. But the solution to that is when we that by providing particular frameworks to solve our problems. Now AI has a lot of data. Now that data it needs to filter out, and for that filtration, a couple of frameworks have been involved. And as Humanshi has mentioned in her part of the presentation, that we have used CARE framework, and with that framework we were able to eliminate this issue.
Okay, and which one you prefer, Gemini or ChatGPT for coding purposes?
Aman, would you like to answer this?
Yeah. So Manish, for like ChatGPT is good for creating good content. It is basically created for reading thesis and giving you answers which are very descriptive. But Gemini is a very versatile tool. It not only solves mathematical problems. Its background is just like it has been trained on a larger data set, a much larger. Whereas ChatGPT in itself has been trained on multiple research papers. So it is more like you are decoding something, but Gemini is more mathematical. It reads the data sets. It even reads the pictures. If I upload a screenshot of this particular prompt, then it will read it out and just start solving it. And it is more versatile.
One point I would like to add, both the AI tools is good unless and until your prompt is much specified that what the outcome you want. Both in my perspective, both the AI tools are good, both Gemini and ChatGPT.
Any of the questions we have?
Just to add to what these guys said, since they had not all of them had worked on Python earlier, so the idea for the project was to introduce them to Python. So I'm sure they've done some fundamental course before they jumped into this. I hope they have. So the idea with using generative AI for any technology or any language is that you need to have some functional understanding. You cannot rely on it blindly, right? So to Manish, to answer your question, you need to have some foundational understanding for you to know what is correct and what is wrong, whether it is just hallucinating and generating random blocks of code or something that is very specific to what you asked. And the other, like Rohan mentioned, your prompt has to be very specific. So if your requirement is very categorical, then the output should not be there should not be a problem in the output, but there is always testing is required to ensure that it is doing the right thing for you. Great. Anyone else? Any other questions? Great. Perfect. I think Aman, you can stop sharing your screen. I'll stop the recording as well. Perfect. Thank you for joining, everyone. And we'll be. Yeah, Manish, you have a question? Yes.
Oh, I just did it by mistake.
Oh, okay.
Great session.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, guys. And I think that brings us to the end of the session. We'll be uploading the recording on YouTube, so you can access it there as well. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to the guys directly on how they've done the project, and they'll be happy to share the notes as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.